You do believe that the Bush administration was behind that building coming down?
It was never hit by a plane, and it fell in 7 seconds, and it was 49 stories high. And they're telling us that fire can drop a skyscraper in 7 seconds. Think of basic physics. That's as fast as the speed of gravity. No resistance. Where's the resistance?
Why did it have to be the Bush administration?
Jesse,
Because that's when it happened.
but Jesse, I mean, in terms of
Why did it have to? Let me ask
Jesse, if I could just say one thing. We want to talk about physics, too, and I understand, we hear about steel burning and what degree it can burn at. There have been, engineer after engineer from the Institute of Studying Steel who have said at 1,100 degrees, okay, and fuel burns between 800 and 1,500. So smack dab in the middle of there, at 1,100 degrees, it's weakened by half.
All right.
If steel can bend, concrete around it will crack, will fall at great speed.
All right. Why were
why
were massive girders thrown 500 feet away and embedded in other buildings? Well, it can melt. The jet fuel was gone on impact. Have you ever seen a drop of fuel there after a plane hits? Boom, you saw the big explosion. There went all the jet fuel. There was no more jet fuel. So you're saying carpet burning, Xerox stuff burning, drapery burning?
You've seen the destruction down there.
Can I talk about the motivation? Because you also, said, by the way, say it was not a plane that went into the Pentagon, it was a missile. Whatever one may feel about President Bush, you say the reason that this was done was to protect oil interests or because the president wanted to have the Iraq war. That the government would deliberately kill 3,000 people to accuse the president of this because of this, he's protecting oil interests. Governor, that's a terrible accusation to make.
And it also paints him as a genius, which is against Joy's conspiracy that he's an idiot.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. First of all, I don't think he ran it. I think Cheney did, because they had the president. All right, give me an example. The president's down in the schoolroom, down in.
Cheney really wanted to have the cause of death of 3,000 people? Come on.
58,000 of us were killed in Vietnam.
Let's stick to this story.
I'm just giving you, Barbara, another example. You're asking for examples, and I'm giving them to you.
But isn't it like someone dating
and abusing? The biggest drag about this is that even if we get the answers, even if you're right, even if the other guys are right, those people aren't coming back.
No, that's true.
That's the biggest drag about all of this.
But the biggest drive is let's educate ourselves so it can't happen again.
Why do you blame the media? You blame the media quite a bit also. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Well, the media, all right, let's go back to the assassinations of the important people of the 60s, which we cover. Everyone was killed by a lone nut.
Yeah, that sounds a little fishy.
Nobody else, they didn't talk to anyone, they didn't conspire with them, and they were all failures at everything else in life.
Right.
But they were hugely successful.
When you say we need to get this out there so that we don't let it happen again. How do we know? I mean, we're putting our trust in our elected officials. How do we know? We don't.
Trusting elected officials.
That's an oxymoron.
There you go.
But how do you not let it happen
I didn't want to write this book. When they approached me with it, I first said, no, I don't want to do it. But then I thought for about 2 weeks on it, and I felt I have to write this book. Because 100 years from now, I don't want people reading and think that we all believed. I want people to know that there was a minority opinion that didn't go along to get along. And always remember what Thomas Jefferson said, dissension's the greatest form of patriotism. If you don't hold people's feet to the fire, elected officials, you'll get bad government. If you hold their feet to the fire, you'll get better government.